The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from Los Angeles, California, Melina.
Let me show you what love is. Let me show you how to move your body.
From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Candice, Michelle.
Hurt nobody, no. It never hurt nobody, no. Let me show you what love is. Let me show you how to move your body. Let me show you how to make me crazy. Too much love and never hurt nobody, no. All eyes on me. Every time I step in the room, boys be going crazy. They don't know what to do. I feel your stares on my thighs. It's no surprise. I got you standing at attention. So let it rise. See the curves, see the clothes, see the jewels and all. Stop whatever you was doing, cause I made you stall. And I know what's on your mind, cause you drooling now. You wanna know how I'm the baddest? Let me show you how. Let me show you what love is. Let me show you how to move your body. Let me show you how to make me crazy. Too much love.
And the opponent, from Boise, Idaho, Torrie Wilson. From Richmond, Virginia, Mickie James.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Raw, live tonight from Las Vegas, Nevada. Tim Ross here with Jerry, the King Lawler.
I'll tell you, JR, if I were a gambling man, I'd bet everything I own that this was going to be one of the best Raws ever.
I wouldn't bet against it, King. What a reversal. That went nowhere. You've got to be in seventh heaven, Kingfish. It's not often we get to see Melina in action like this.
You know it, JR. I can never get enough of Melina, but I'd sure like to try. There's the reversal. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slumber night. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. I don't care how tough you are, JR. No one can take this kind of pain for long.
You're absolutely right, King. We've seen many superstars tap out to this very hole. And there's the submission. There might not be any way out of it.
There better be, but we're going to see a tap out right here.
A textbook reversal there.
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's going to go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only
There's the tag. That's the way to do it. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring. Candice is one of my favorite WWE divas, JR. I loved her centerfold. It left absolutely nothing to the imagination.
I guess that's lucky for you then, King, because after hearing some of the lines you've used on the Divas over the years, I'm not sure imagination. That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall. Excellent count. What ring presence.
Looks like a tag to me. Oh boy, there's the tag.
And it's been reversed.
Look at this, JR. Can you imagine SmackDown putting on a match half as good as this?
No disrespect intended for our SmackDown colleagues, but no.
Oh boy, this is getting nasty, JR.
That's for sure, King. These superstars will stop at nothing to obliterate each other right here tonight. Oh my! Now that's what you call a compromising position.
That's enough to make you rethink your entire career, JR.
Her opponent is dazed and confused. Can she capitalize?
She sure can, JR. That mitt kick will do a number on anyone.
Boy, I don't know what Mickie James' problem is, but this girl is goofy as a pet too, no doubt about it.
That's a little harsh, JR. I prefer to think of her as feisty.
I know what you'd prefer, King, but the simple fact of the matter is that
That submission is locked in, JR, and this is a tough hole to break.
it sure is, King, and even if you break the hole, it takes its toll on you.
Oh no, this is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
What a counter! Looks like they've slowed the match down a little, and I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Is that why you always seem to be in such a hurry, JR?
I think I've eaten a little too much good Oklahoma barbecue in my day, King. To hurry. Oh my! This is not what those ring ropes were meant to be used for.
Well, all's fair in love and war, JR. But after this, I don't think there's going to be a lot of loving in this superstar's future.
Oh man! This is an excruciating but effective method of winning a match.
Yeah, and it's a surefire method of birth control, too.
There's the tag. That's some good teamwork.
Melina's one of those divas you just can't take your eyes off of, JR.
You certainly can't, especially if you're the referee. You know it's only a matter of time before this Jezebel tries to take advantage in this matchup.
You say that like it's a bad thing, JR. I wouldn't mind if she tried to take advantage of me. So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to... No! No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision. Quick tags are the best way to win a tag team match, JR.
Oh, boy. The adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something quick. You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers. She's measuring her opponent.
Oh, man. She got all of that. Looks like he's trying for a pin here. I think this crowd has decided...
I've pinned a lot of superstars in my day, JR, and it's tougher than it looks.
No question about that.
Here are your winners.
He had to work for that win.
Tonight, he was a better man, but I wonder what would happen in a real